Welcome to the Rwenzori Focus, broadcasting live here from our home in Nansana opposite KFC. We are LC Africa, the content factory. This evening we are having a special edition of the Rwenzori Focus, and we have our esteemed guest from Kasese, Sam Baluku, who happens to be a lawyer and a student of journalism and mass communication.
Dear viewers, my name is Baluku Sam. I'm a lawyer by profession and a second-year student of journalism and communication. As well, I'm also a lawyer. I'm also a politician by situation, I must say. In 2021, I stood for Member of Parliament, Kasese Municipality, on the National Unity Platform ticket. I think my victory was tampered with.
How was your victory tampered with when you came last in the race?
My victory, no, I wasn't last. There were 7 people in the race.
Okay.
At least I was number 3, so I really tried my level best. It was tampered with for many reasons. So I'm a passionate politician and very active with the National Unity Platform. I'm also a family man. Mm-hmm. I'm a husband and a father. Married to one woman. That's the most important thing. So dear viewers, thank you so much for supporting or viewing the Rwenzori Focus show. Yeah, it is trending these days, and thanks for this great initiative. To me, I feel like it's going to really push Rwenzori forward, because we are looking at solutions towards making Rwenzori great. Thank you so much.
Wow. Kasese is one of the well-endowed places in Uganda that is naturally gifted.
Yes.
Now, I understand you were born and bred in Kasese town.
Yes.
But like you know, Kasese has so many challenges. The poor road network in the mountains.
Yes.
The high crime rate in urban centers.
Yes.
The high rate of early pregnancies. Yes. for young ladies. What do you think should be the solution for all these problems?
Thank you so much, Hassan. For starters, Kasese is a border district, and it's one of the oldest districts in this country. And the biggest challenge of Kasese, number one, is the terrain system, the geographical location of Kasese, it being mountainous in nature, and also it being at the border of Uganda and Congo. Kasese has been facing a lot of challenges. The ADF wars, the Rwenzori movement wars, and many other things. So of course, you know, when there was, at times, this was retard development. Whereas other regions got their first secondary schools or education institutions in as early as 1900, 1930, the first secondary school in Kasese, which is Sad Memorial School, was established in 1974. Mm-hmm. Around 1980, we had Rwenzori High School, 1982, Wera Secondary School, and the others. So it means our literacy levels have been low. Mm-hmm. It's just of recent that now people have gone to school, and we have quite a number of graduates. Mm-hmm. Hassan, by 1986, Kasese district had about 42 graduates. Just 42. The whole district had only 42. But today we have thousands and thousands of graduates, and Kasese is progressing. Of course, amongst the challenges, still we have a very high population, which population is unemployed.
Pause a bit there. I understand you belong to the opposition.
Yes.
There has been a notion that because the district is one of the biggest districts to have in Uganda now,
yes,
it should be decentralized, yes, and have several districts cut out of Kasese.
Yes, yes.
In as much as you belong to the opposition, yes, would you support the school of thought of having Kasese divided into more districts?
Yeah, thank you so much, Hassan. The opposition in Kasese does not support the split of the district. Reason being, how it is going to be split. Of course, Kasese has indigenous communities and many ethnicities in the district. And of course, this has been one of the challenges of why the district is not being split, because every tribe in Kasese, every ethnicity feels like whenever, if in case there is any division to happen, then they should give them some certain portion or some certain areas. However, as a politician and as someone who has gone to school, I know there are many advantages that come with splitting the district. For example, Kasese takes only about 10 students for quota system. If it was divided in about 4, would benefit and take at least 40 students to university. Would have 4 women MPs, would have 5 local council, 5 chairpersons, and also address the issue of unemployment. But however, on the other side, we know that even if we split Kasese district into 10, we cannot address the issue of unemployment.
Okay, without so much ado,
yes.
When a person asks you,
yes,
should we split Kasese? I want an answer of yes or no.
My answer is no, because Kasese is endowed. It has natural resources. Hassan, we have Klembe mines. We have the Kasese Cobalt Company Limited. We have the Katwe Salt, which are the factory. We have national parks all over. We have the Kasese airfield. These are some of these are opportunities that we can utilize, that government can revamp and employ our people. Because, for example, if a government constructed an airport in Kasese, for example, as they are planning to do, sweepers would get a job. Those who didn't even go to school, they would still get what to do. Would get accountants, would get security guards, would get pilots, would get a number of people would benefit. If Klembe Mines is revamped, for example, engineers, electrical engineers, civil engineers, even porters at least would get something to do. We have the industrial park. Government bought land in Kasese. Until now, you find that the industrial park is still idle. It is bushy. So I believe that if we can utilize our potential or our natural resources, would possibly address this issue of unemployment.
So we have seen Kasese, like you have given the background history of the literacy rates trying to decrease, and the numbers of the literates going up. Now, having that in knowledge that we are having the number of literates shooting up, what should be the way forward for an informed society to see that they have the jobs, they have the market for the job is there, to be resourceful as much as they have gone to school?
Hassan, I want to be open to you. Much as I subscribe to the opposition, but I also believe that government cannot employ everyone. Yes, the literacy levels have increased. We have many graduates, but there are no jobs for everyone. What does it mean? We have to utilize our potential as a district. What potentials do we have? We have the tourism potential. In September, August this year, we're going to have the Rwenzori Marathon. People come from as far as Europe to come and participate in this marathon. Our graduates can do business. People can put up hotels. They can put up lodges that can accommodate these people. Government should revamp some of these industries or factories that are dead. For example, the Klembe mines. We have the Katwe Salt factory. We have KCCL. We have an airport, an airfield that can be upgraded. So I believe some of these potentials or gifts that we have as a district can still address the issue of unemployment. And then the other issue is ensuring that our young people become innovative, join hands, start up small-scale businesses, and also through our leaders request government to provide tax incentives to these people, to these young people, so that they can also thrive. I think that would be the only way to go.
Well, we have looked at the unemployment rates in Kasese, and we have several other challenges. Like when you look at the report that was released by Ministry of Gender,
yes,
we still have high rates of early pregnancies. As a person who has grown up in town and in Kasese, what do you think should be done to encounter this problem?
Thank you, Hassan. Before we look at the solution, why is it that Kasese is always mentioned as a district with a high rate of early pregnancies? Like I told you, that terrain system, most people have not gone to school. Reason being, schools are far away from them. The other issue are the low literacy levels. You find that most parents did not go to school, and to them they look at their young girls as sources of income or sources of wealth. Of course, also our culture. Realize that in our culture, girls are taken to be sources of wealth. By the time a lady gets done with P7 or Form 4, the parents I think she's going to get married, because our culture says this lady is not part of their clan. She gets married to the other clan.
Is this still the problem for government? Because
no, it's not a government problem. I think somehow, somewhere, government has played its part. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have UP schools, we have some few civil society organizations that have come on board. I think the issue goes back to us.
As a lawyer
as
now,
stakeholders, we have a lot to do.
As a lawyer, how would you address this matter? Because it is becoming monotonous in the entire district of Kasese.
I think the very first thing that we need to do is to engage all stakeholders, religious leaders, politicians, civil society organizations, and also ensure that we create an avenue that these young girls can really know why they must go to school, why they must stay in school, and why they must complete school. I think these young girls need role models. One of the issues that are pushing us forward, number one, these people have not seen powerful women talk to them. They've not been motivated. They've not been motivated. So I think we have a lot to do. Just of recent, I subscribed to one of the associations in Kasese for young people. It's called Frida. We've been doing career guidance sessions in schools. We've been going to a number of schools, speak to these young people, why they must stay in school. We've also been giving them our personal testimonies that, oh yes, our backgrounds have nothing to do with our destiny. Yes, we know there are high levels of poverty, but you can still sail through, provided if you're determined. So I think we are going to now put in a lot of effort in ensuring that we go deep to these villages. We also use such avenues, radio stations, radio programs, and such a platform like you've given us to speak to these young people and also address some of these challenges that we are facing.
Now, Sam, at the background of all these challenges,
yes,
there are silent voices,
yes,
that are out there saying Kasese's biggest problem has been their reliance on opposition for a long period of time. If I may give you a brief history, Kasese has always been on the left side of every government. Yes. The Obote government, the Amini government, the Museveni government, until of recent when they swept the entire district. So what do you think of that voices of reason that say Kasese has been lagging behind because of the opposition politics in Kasese?
Thank you so much, Hassan. I believe we are into a multi-party dispensation. To me, the Constitution gives us the mandate to subscribe to any political party of our choice. And Kasese people have a choice like any other Ugandan. But like I told you, Kasese is unique in nature and thus has unique challenges. And one of these challenges, like I've told you, whereas other regions got education institutions as early as before and immediately after independence, Kasese got her first secondary school in 1974. Kasese has been having cultural and tribal conflicts. Kasese has been left out on a number of occasions. Like I told you before the coming of NRM, Kasese had Kilembe mines thriving even before independence, by the way, because Kilembe mines started before independence. Kasese had the cattle salt factory thriving.
A new contractor has been formed for Kilembe.
I'm not sure about that. I heard about it.
That is
still
on,
waiting.
That is on record. It's a fact.
We are still waiting because no, these people always sign agreements, sign memorandum of understandings, then later on things remain
Sam, that is a topic for another day. My information was that as of now, we got a new investor for Kilembe mines.
Yes, I've heard about that. So what I was trying to tell you that Kasese has gotten unique challenges, and some of these unique challenges are some of the reasons as to why Kasese has been opposition. And for your own information, I don't think NRM genuinely won. Of course, there were a lot of irregularities, and one of the MPs has gone to court. One of the contestants.
Sam, let us look into mathematics, please.
So we may not go there, but what I'm trying to say that Kasese has unique challenges, and them siding on the opposition side is using the opposition to amplify their voices, and indeed, government has responded to some of. Because number one of the issues was the recognition of the Rwenzori, and by God's grace in 2009.
Was that a push by the opposition?
It was, of course, it was a push. By then we had quite many opposition members of parliament, but by then we had voices coming up, and then government decided to look into it. Of course, somewhere it was a political move. Towards the 2021 general elections.
2011, sorry.
Yes.
Because it was 2009.
Yes, and you remember in 1980, the Msinga goes to the US to study, and then he comes back, and one of the reasons that the Bakons were in the mountains, they were looking for independence, and some of these challenges are being addressed in one way or the other. Save that some of these challenges are being addressed with a political motive to maybe win souls, maybe win the now opposition supporters to the NRM. But I strongly believe that Kasese people know what they want. That is how I can summarize the whole situation in Kasese, that we know what we want. And by the time we vote for our leaders, we vote for individuals, people who can deliver, and people who have really been there for the people.
Now, as we finalize this subtopic we are handling, the one for Kasese, as a leader, because when you offer yourself as a candidate in an election,
yes,
you must be having a solution as a person. What do you think is the solution for the Kasese question?
The issue is simple. Kasese needs to unite again. And we also have to accept that Kasese belongs to all of us, regardless of our backgrounds. And in that I mean our ethnic backgrounds. Kasese is a hub of very many tribes. I think we must accept to diversify, and also accept that for Kasese to grow, we need many other people to come and occupy space and develop this district. On the other hand, like I said, we also need to take our children to school. That's one of the reasons that have been pushing Kasese backward is the issue of illiteracy. You'll get a panga, go fight and do this and that. So we have to really sensitize our communities, take our children to school, and also give them employment opportunities. An idle mind has always been a devil's workshop. So we have to utilize our potential as a district, revamp our industries, revamp our factories, and also work on our infrastructure, because Kasese has quite a number of subsistence farmers, but because of the terrain system, the poor red networks, these people do not at times find it hard for them to take their goods or take their food crops or food to the nearby markets and many other things. So we have to develop our infrastructure. We also have to diversify, sensitize our communities on the need of unity, peace and stability, and also boost our trade as a district, because we are at the border, and partly one of the reasons that Kasese is growing day and night is because of being at that border district. But how many of us benefit from the trade at the border? So we really need to participate and also stop these petty differences, political differences. That, oh yes, as a district, regardless of our political affiliations, we should come up and speak in unison. Our leaders should come up for a common cause, for a good cause. That's what other districts are doing. The other time I saw Bunyoro leaders in some sort of retreat, both opposition and those of NRA.
We shall start from there, from the Rwenzori, I mean from the Chankwanzi retreat issues. Dear viewer, thank you for watching LC Africa as we go into the commercial break. Keep watching us, following us, subscribe on our YouTube channel, LC Africa. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. The LC Africa, the Content Factory, has online TV shows. We do content, create content, we do videography, we do photography, we do public relations, and come on, we do graphic design. We have studio space for hiring and also do online marketing. Keep following us on all socials. We are LC Africa, the Content Factory.
Whenever you're ready.
Welcome back from the commercial break. We thank Maganjo Grain Millers for always supporting our shows and sponsoring them. I have a friend of mine living in Canada called Baluku Ronald Tibisimwa. He is a great fan and a great customer of Maganjo Grain Millers. He says that he lives in Canada, but the products for Maganjo are in stock in Canada. So Ugandan, if you are passing by the products of Maganjo, really when you're here in Uganda, and the Canadians who happen to be Ugandans are giving testimony of how good their products are, where they go. Anyways, we are back into session 2 of this discussion. Sebo, we are going into politics.
Yes.
Why didn't you run for 2026 MPship for Kasese municipality?
For starters, I participated in the NUP primaries of vetting and did not go through. So because I love my party so much, I decided to rally my support behind my brother Robert Mutoma wat secured the flag. We went to the field. Unfortunately, he also lost the
Hold
election.
a bit. Is the assertion for buying flags true? Because we have heard that in the media.
No, not true.
Or you didn't have enough money to purchase this flag?
Personally, I didn't give anyone a single coin for this flag. Because in 2021, we were 2 with my sister Amina Kahindo. I got the flag without...
Oh, you gave in more?
No, I didn't. I didn't. 2025, when we went for the primaries, I lost and I took everything in good faith.
Now, you understand that there was a lot of confusion,
yes,
in Kasese, most of the NUP chapter, when they gave the flag to your adversary, Mutoma. Your supporters were saying that there was a lot of inconsistencies in giving out this flag. Were you worried about their concerns as the candidate?
Yeah, of course. You cannot mention the National Unity Platform in Kasese and leave the name Sam Baluku, because everyone knows in Kasese that as a young man at university by then, I decided to launch the People Power movement in my district. That was around 2019. Mobilized for the movement, by then we were still a pressure group. When we eventually got the party status of the National Unity Platform, I still mobilized my colleagues, mobilized candidates, and today I'm proud that we have a fully fledged district executive and we have a fully fledged NUP chapter in the district.
Are you part of the district executive? Tujage na mpola mpola, you know I'm bringing in those.
Yes.
Are you part of the executive?
Yes, I am. Apparently, I'm the head of the elections, and I also serve as Secretary for Mobilization for Kasese Municipality. So that's what I do. And in the recent elections, I was the official agent for the woman member of parliament candidate, the Honorable Katembo Fatuma Kamama.
Now, we heard rumors, and rumors were actually true, that you were removed from the NUP Kasese chapter WhatsApp group.
Yeah,
that is true.
It's true.
Why did they reach that extent of removing you from a WhatsApp group where you happen to be the executive member?
Of course, we had our internal differences. Like I said, politics comes with a lot of dynamics. At some point, the district executive decided to have sides. I don't know, for reasons well known.
So ideally, the primaries weren't fair.
To me, they were.
But the executive members took sides.
Yeah, they did, of course. But to me, they were. You know, Hassan, I don't always want to speak ill against my party. Because it has given me an opportunity. It gave me an opportunity in 2021, where two people, I did not give them a single coin. In 2026, I didn't give them any coin. In 2025, during the party vetting process, I did not give them a coin. And they gave this flag to someone they think deserved it.
Well, Sam, I'm not saying you're speaking ill of your party.
Yes.
But we are stressing facts. You know, this show is factual.
Yes.
That is why I said you were removed from the WhatsApp group, and that was factual.
Of course, we had
were the primaries fair? These
were internal party issues. And I'll tell you the reason as to why I'll not tell you that they were fair or not. Our vetting process as NUP.
Did you raise these issues to the head office?
It's more of an interview, kind of. What are the values for NUP?
That is why Segona was
in position to, and I, as a senior member, like I said, I started with the People Power movement, so I know the whole background of the party. Well versed with the values, well versed with the vision, well versed with the mission, well versed with the leadership structure and everything. So to me, I believe I was the best candidate, but the vetting committee decided to give us a different candidate, and I took everything in good faith.
Now, your candidate in Usongora South nearly won an election.
Yes.
And he has gone to the High Court in Fort Portal. What do you have to say about this?
We recently filed an election petition. Of course, there were a number of irregularities. Like I told you, I've been head of elections, of the 2026 elections, specifically for Kasese district. And there were a number of issues. So we've already filed a petition. We've already laid our evidence to court. And we believe that court will give us a fair hearing. I may not go into details because the matter is already before court, but we have hope that we have a good case. We have a good case and we are winning.
Now, in history,
yes,
it is for the first time that the National Resistance Movement has had 6 MPs from NRM. What lessons did you pick as opposition? Most especially when you have a divided opposition in Kasese, because the FDC were not looking eye to eye.
What do you mean when you say we have a divided opposition?
No, I'm saying this at the background of FDC not looking into eye to eye with the other sister opposition parties. That is why I say you have a divided opposition in Kasese.
Partly I will concur with you. Having NUP, FDC, PFF on board somehow divided our consolidated support compared to the past. Because in 2006, 2011, 2016, we were still consolidated together as opposition. We had one voice and we had one major political party. But of course the coming of NUP brings in a lot of dynamics. However, opposition remains strong. That's what I must assert. only that this time around the situation has been tense. There was a lot of intimidation. There was a lot of voter bribery, and somehow it cost us as opposition. Because as when you know that for NUP as a party, most of its candidates are young people, unemployed, who have just gotten out of university, they have no jobs. So therefore it becomes hard for them to facilitate the elections.
There is that.
And there has been stiff competition in terms of facilitating these campaigns.
There is that youth, there is that LC3 chairperson one on the NUP ticket.
In Karusandara sub-county.
Why didn't they buy out the voters when you give assertions that is why NUP was...
No, politics has a lot of dynamics, has many dynamics as well. Mr. Samuel Kamara, our LOC3 elect of Karusandara, I think somehow was voted as an individual. He got the victory on an individual merit. Because Karusandara, for our dear viewers, it has been NRM throughout. Since time immemorial, Karusandara support has been NRM. And we broke the record, I must say. We broke the record. And like I said, people look at individuals, and that's one of the things that are shaping the political dynamics of Kasese district. We had other candidates in other constituencies, but realize our candidate for Songora South outperformed all of them. Reason being because he was also voted as an individual. So basically, much as my president, Chagulanyi Sentam Robert won in Kasese district, it was so unfortunate that our candidates did not go through. What do you
mean by saying that your president won in Kasese district when you have different figures from the Electoral Commission?
Do you trust the Electoral Commission figures?
Yes, I do trust them, because when they...
You know, by the time...
When the LC3 chairperson wins for Karusandara, they are trusted.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. When they were announcing the presidential elections at the National Tally Center, we were still at the Tally Center in Kasese district trying to compute votes from the whole district. And then we had that Mr. Biabakama had announced the elections for the president. And yet in Kasese, we were still computing.